And welcome back. Just a little while ago, Secretary of State Antony Blinken made some news. He announced that he will be talking to the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov this week. That's the first time those two have talked since the beginning of the Russian invasion in Ukraine back in February. And they're going to be talking about WNBA star Brittney Griner and security contractor Paul Whelan, saying the U.S. would be making a substantial offer. Those are Blinken's words, a substantial offer to bring those two Americans home. Griner testified in her own defense in a Russian courtroom today at her trial for drug charges. She told the judge she was recovering from COVID-19 and under stress when she traveled to Moscow for basketball playoffs and unintentionally brought some cannabis oil into Moscow's airport. Griner testified her rights were not explained to her when she was detained. And she also said that the time difference was hard on her and that she had traveled back and forth to Moscow many times, but that this time she'd never seen so many people working at the airport, including, quote, lots of customs agents on the day she was arrested. Griner has pleaded guilty now and is due back in court August 2nd. U.S. officials have said she's being wrongfully detained. They're working to secure her release. That, quote, substantial deal now on the table, an offer to the Russians, according to Secretary of State Blinken. For more on this, Dr. Dani Gilbert, fellow at the Joan Sloan Dickey Center for International Understanding at Dartmouth College, joins me now. So, Dr. Gilbert, as you heard us say, Secretary of State Blinken just made those remarks. Let's take a quick look at what he had to say.
In the coming days, I expect to speak with Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov for the first time since the war began. I plan to raise an issue that's a top priority for us: the release of Americans Paul Whelan and Brittney Griner, who've been wrongfully detained and must be allowed to come home. We put a substantial proposal on the table weeks ago to facilitate their release. Our governments have communicated repeatedly and directly on that proposal. And I'll use the conversation to follow up personally and, I hope, move us toward a resolution.
So, what do you make of that remark by Secretary of State Blinken that there's a substantial proposal on the table? What could it look like, and do you think it has a chance of succeeding?
So in those remarks, Secretary Blinken indicated that the United States has been working hard for a long time behind the scenes, putting an offer on the table to bring our fellow American citizens home. These cases take a really long time to resolve, but as we've just heard, that's not because the White House is dragging their feet, but because the United States is dealing with bad actors. The Russian government intends to drag this out as long as possible. And as far as I'm concerned, I would not expect any deal until after the trial has continued and after the trial has come to a conclusion and they've found her guilty. So that increases the Russians' leverage. They have indicated that they want a prisoner swap for an arms dealer named Viktor Bout, and the Russians might want that or any other set of political or economic concessions.
And who, if anyone, do you think right now, the United States or Russia, has the upper hand? Or because, right, there's this war going on, we're arming Ukraine, Russia has Brittney Griner and Paul Whelan. Is there enough interest on both sides to get this deal done? What do you think?
It's a great question. When states take people hostage or hold them wrongfully, like in the case of Brittney Griner and Paul Whelan, those states have a lot of leverage. They're holding on to our citizens who are held in prison or doing hard labor in penal colonies for years. And they know that it's virtually costless for them to keep holding on to our citizens and make either explicit or implicit demands to bring them home. So they're going to keep dragging this out and try to get everything they possibly can out of this case, whether that's a prisoner swap or lessening of sanctions, any other type of concessions they might want.
Yeah, it's an unusual situation. We're essentially fighting a proxy war with Russia. I mean, we're arming Ukraine with very significant weapons. We are giving Ukraine enough weapons to kill a lot of Russians, and they're doing it. And yet now we're trying to do this deal as well. Is that common in international relations, or are we in fresh territory here?
It's a great question. So whenever a state takes an American hostage, these are not states that are already our friends. These are the kinds of states that the United States is in long geopolitical conflicts with. We're talking about Russia, Venezuela, Iran, China takes foreigners hostage as well. And so we're already operating under circumstances where those negotiations are very, very difficult, very high stakes. But in the past, they've been successful. We've been able to make deals to bring our people home.
And let's hope it works that way this time as well. Dr. Dani Gilbert, thanks very much for being with us.
Thank you.
And we're going to have the latest for you regarding Brittney Griner's trial when she makes her next court appearance on August 2nd. We'll track this until she comes home, along with Paul Whelan.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.